goes on.
All right, what we got here is a John Deere 855, and we've got a gland nut on the lift cylinder, lift arms, and it's very tight. I don't know if they cross-threaded it or if it's rust buildup or it's a 1985 model. But what we're doing, if you'll walk a little closer with the camera, I'll show you. We've got the 48-inch pipe wrench out. We've got a cheater bar on it, and we've got the gland nut. And we are doing a slow process. Putting this back on. And we're using the backhoe and a chain hoist. One thing, this chain hoist has got lots of power. It's got more power than this front bucket with the hydraulic. Plus you can work it at a lot slower pace. We almost lost our pipe just then. So I'm using this pipe to kind of guide this. It's very hard to get this pipe wrench back on.
Lost your pipe.
Yeah, we lost the pipe. So I'll have to hook it back on. They got to come along to keep from losing getting hit in the head. The very trick here is to try to put this on and get it to stay until you get some pressure put on it. Which we've got it pretty close. Looking for my crowbar. Everybody loses tools. I don't think I'm gonna mess with that. I think I'm just gonna start coming up with it. And then when I get some pressure on it, maybe it'll hold. Checking to make sure that the jaws have got a hold of this. I tried to make a wrench to fit in these holes. It worked pretty good, but it just didn't want to actually fit in there really well. I could have done a better job. I'll show you how I made it. There's one thing about it. It's strong. I welded the teeth in there for it to slide on there, and those teeth to grab into those slots on the gland nut. So my weld's all held, but my teeth just didn't fit in there good, and it just kept wanting to jump out. So the old pipe wrench, if you can get one big enough, which I could not find. I needed a 5-foot, but I got a 4-foot. I bought a 3-foot. It wasn't big enough. But I am using the 3-foot pipe wrench on here, as you can see, like this. What I'm doing with that, I'm kind of counteracting this pressure I'm gonna put some more pressure on it. I'm counteracting the pressure when I put on it to try to, it tries to walk off. Tried to come off just then. It doesn't got, it's just not. It's at a terrible angle. When you go to take one of these apart, some of these cylinders have set screws on both sides. This one had a set screw on the inside, and there's not very much room. There might be a 1/2 inch of room to try to get a Allen wrench in there, which I had to cut my Allen wrench. I used my bolt cutters to cut my Allen wrench. Found out I had a really good Allen wrench because it about damaged my bolt cutters. Either that or I got some real cheap bolt cutters. Nevertheless, but we have moved this. I bought this chain hoist at a sale. I figured if it would pick up diesel engines, that's where it was being used. They had it in a garage shop. I figured if it was good enough for that, it would be good enough to pick up this, because I don't have anything that really wants to work on this. But I think we're getting it to move. And it's easier to remove the gland nut on the machine. When you take the gland nut off, then you can pull the chrome rod out. You can just leave that other part in there and put the rebuild kit on it. But if you take it off and then try to get that off, you see what I'm doing here? I'm putting so much pressure, you'd have to lock this into something on the other end, pretty substantial, to hold it in place, or you're not gonna get that thing. You're not gonna get that off there. I rebuilt one on a 755 John Deere. And I took the chrome rod, which weighed well over 200 pounds. I took it out to the big truck dealer out here, and they had a big air tool where they take these trucks apart. And the old boy said, "Hold on to that while I unscrew that bolt." And I said, "No, sir, bud, you're not doing that. We're gonna do something else." So I took the chrome rod, and he had a forklift there, and I pinned that chrome rod in the back of that forklift with a pin. I said, "Now put your big air tool on her and give her a whirl and see what you get." So we did, and it came right out. Some people go in and put a big cheater bar on it, try to get it out, but who wants to mess up a good bolt? And you definitely don't want to break it off in there in that chrome rod. Of course, there's some shops, they'll take care of you. They'll fix it for you. That might be where this is going. I don't know. I've got to find a rebuild kit for an 855. I found it for a 755, but this is a different animal here. You don't see very many 855 John Deeres. And I bought this one here. It was sold in Pennsylvania new. It went to Illinois, and it went to Texas, and then I'm back to Missouri. So we're going to try to pull on this some more and see what we can do and see if it's moving or not. Pipe wrench seems to be, that pipe wrench seems to be sticking up real far this time. Is that moving any at all? Boy, there's some pressure on it, I'll tell you that for sure. There's a lot of pressure on that. trying to do that to keep it from coming off. And I know it would walk off there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on up more. I'm trying to be careful, but
Nope.
come off.
I think it moved. It didn't move the nut.
Oh, it moved on the. It seems to be. You know, after it's probably not got a good bite on it. It's getting chewed up probably, but I don't really care. I can dress it up. If it's not cross-threaded and if it's good. I felt it move, but I don't think it ever. It moved, didn't it? The nut moved?
No, the wrench.
Oh, the wrench moved. Oh my gosh. We're in a bad spot. That wrench starts moving. It's not got a good bite. It might have a good bite right now. Uh-oh. I can hear it. I think it's got a good bite. A good bite. Yeah. A good bite. Oh, we're running out of room here. I'm about up high as I can go. Oh shit. Get out of the way this thing. I'm a little bit nervous.
Look, can I move?
You might want to come over here by me. Don't fall off of there. Climbing up on these things, one false move and your head split open. You know what I mean? Oh Lord. That thing acts like it's. I'm gonna go give it a tap. I mean that thing's under a lot of pressure. That thing just ain't moving yet. I was told, and which I was doing it earlier, you take this piece of, well, this is an old bolt, but boy, it's a hard bolt. That looks like an old railroad bolt. I think it's one that they use on bridge timbers and stuff like that. Got the built-in washer on it. Something to protect your hand at least. But I'm gonna tap on that a little bit. It's got a lot of pressure on it. Oh, it moved. Yeah, well that's what it's been doing. And just a itty bitty little bitty at a time. I don't like that. But at least it's moving. So I'm gonna give her another. Gonna go a little bit. I ain't got much room up here. This is a slow process. But we are making some headway here a little bit. It wouldn't move before. I don't know why. I put some more of that PV blaster in it. I think it locked it up. Now that's got a lot of pressure too, you know. Gotta have. The bad news is we blew a hydraulic line. And on these kind of loaders, these 855s and 755s, this cylinder's completely protected. And there ain't no way to get to that hydraulic line at the bottom. It looks like I might have to take the pin out down there and drop the whole cylinder down to get that hydraulic line, unless I could get me some midget to crawl in here and, oh no, you can't say midget. Some smaller person, how's that? Like a little bitty person. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna put nobody in there. It's too tight. Oh, I heard it move. We're here in southeast Missouri, and this is hillbillies down here, and I heard it. I heard it move. That's the right way to say it. I can really speak correctly, but it moved, and that's what we want. We want it to move. So, I guess, oh, I dropped. Look at there. I done all right though, folks. There it is. It didn't go to the inside. I was underneath this the other day dropping the belly pan, and there's a piece of it over there, and it's just a small piece. It's only about that wide, about that big. 4 bolts. Don't think you can handle one of those, because